I'm helping her right at the moment. But we're going to do a shepherd's pie.
Honey, get out of my video. Hi, and welcome back to the Simple Living channel. My name is Lori, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make my version of a shepherd's pie. It's really delicious, and it's a very hearty meal. You can make it ahead of time, you can freeze it, or you can serve it up the same day. What you are going to need to put it together are some potatoes that have been boiled and mashed, some ground beef, about a pound, and you would fry that up with some chopped onion, and then a can of cream of mushroom soup, and a little bit of butter and salt and pepper and some other herbs if you like. So it's a real simple dish to put together, and your family's just going to love it. So here we go. The first thing that you will need to do is to peel your potatoes, and then you can boil them up until they're tender. While the potatoes are cooking, then what you would do is take your ground beef and put it into a pre-greased pan and fry it up with your chopped onions. As well, if you want, you could add chopped peppers or chopped mushrooms. And then I also like to add a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder, but you could also put in some minced garlic if you want. So you're just going to fry that up until it's just done, and then you can turn the pan off. Once the hamburger is cooked and you've turned it off, then what you would do is add in your can of cream of mushroom soup and stir it around really well. Okay, so you're going to stir the mushroom soup into the hamburger, and it takes a couple minutes. You just really want to get it mixed in really well. Now I'm making a double batch here, so I do have quite a bit of hamburger, but I'm just going to start with one can of mushroom soup. I think that probably will be enough. It just adds a really nice flavor to the base of the meat and keeps it nice and moist when you put it in your pan. So I'm going to finish stirring this up, and then it'll be ready to put into our pan. So put your hamburger mixture into your serving dish, and what I'm doing here is I'm just pressing it down really well, just so that it's nice and flat for the potatoes to go on. And then once you've done that, then it's ready for the potato mixture to go on top. The potatoes are tender, and what I'm going to do now is mash them up really well, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter to it, and also some milk to make it real creamy. So you just take your time and let the butter melt and mash in the potatoes, and you want to get them really creamy because that makes them really nice on top of the meat mixture. Once you have your potatoes all mashed up and they're nice and creamy, then what you would do is just put them on top of the hamburger mixture. And I've got it all here. And so what I'm doing is I'm just using a spatula to flatten it out and make it nice and even. And there's just enough potatoes. This is a fairly big batch that I'm doing, but you would basically make the same number of potatoes that you would if you were making mashed potatoes for your family. You would use the same quantity. And as I said, I'm making a double batch here, so this made quite a nice big casserole. I mean, I could have put this into 2 separate smaller casseroles and froze one, or there's lots of things you can do with this. You can see that I've got the potatoes all smoothed out nice and even now. And what I've done is I've just put a couple little pieces of butter on top. The potatoes are still nice and warm, so in a couple minutes the butter will be all melted, and then I can spread it around, and it just helps to give it a nice golden color when I actually bake it. The other thing I can do is put a little bit of salt and pepper on top, and then it's ready to go into the oven. And if you're cooking it right away while the ingredients are still hot, It's not going to take too long to bake. What you want to do is look for little bubbles coming up around the edges. If you freeze this, then what you should do is make sure you take it out well ahead of time so that it is actually all thawed out, because you don't want the outside to be cooked too much and burn while the inside is still frozen. So make sure it's thoroughly thawed if you have frozen it. And so then it probably will take about half an hour to 45 minutes if the mixture is still warm from having cooked it and put it together today. If your ingredients were frozen and you have thawed it out and it's still cold, it might take a little bit longer, but just use your judgment. And you can always stick a fork in the middle of it to see if it's hot inside. And so when it's bubbly and starting to get a little bit golden around the edges, then it's ready to serve up. You would take it out of the oven and let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes and then serve it up. Here's what the casserole looks like before we're going to put it in the oven. You can see I've added a little bit of pepper to the top of it. I've put a tiny bit of salt on it as well. And you can see that the butter has melted. And when that bakes up, it's going to make it nice and golden brown and adds a really nice flavor to it. This dish gives you both your meat and potatoes, and you could add a salad to it or your favorite vegetable for a delicious hearty meal that's quick and easy. Hope you enjoy it. I had the shepherd's pie in the fridge overnight, so I took it out and let it sit on the cupboard to warm up for at least an hour. And then I've been cooking it for about an hour, just over an hour. And I started it at 400 and then turned it down to 300 after about 20 minutes. So let's take a look and see. Okay, see it's bubbling. And what I'm going to do for the last few minutes is I am going to remove the tin foil and just let it get a little brown for the last 5-10 minutes. And dinner is ready. Okay, here's the casserole. And it's a little bit golden brown on the edges. And I'm going to scoop it out now. Doesn't that look delicious? Yummy. Enjoy.
Oh, she left it on. Well, I'll tell you what she's doing today. She's gonna, I'm helping her right at the moment, but we're gonna do a shepherd's pie.
Go.
I'm looking after your hamburger.
I'm going to make it today and then we'll cook it tomorrow. So here we go.
Yeah, so. Oh, she's got the camera.
Hey.
Lori.
What are you doing in here? Come on.
I'm just trying to help out.
Husband.